First at 4, a first-of-its-kind decision is just made in the case against the parents of the Oxford school shooter. Why a panel of judges say Jennifer and James Crumbley should stand trial in the shooting. Plus, TikTok CEO in the hot seat in Congress.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values. Values for freedom, human rights, and innovation.
Paula Tutman talks to an expert about whether you should be concerned for your privacy when you open the app. Good afternoon, Kim.
Hi, Karen. Well, the rain we had this morning is now out of here, but don't keep the umbrella too far out of reach. Rain returns. I'll tell you when in the forecast.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
We begin first at 4 with a key decision in the Oxford school shooting. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. The Michigan Court of Appeals says the parents of the school shooter can go to trial for the charges against them. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with the court's reason for the decision and what happens next. Kim?
Karen, this is a groundbreaking case that will look at whether parents can be held criminally responsible for the acts of a child. Jennifer and James Crumbley are charged with involuntary manslaughter after their son Ethan shot and killed 4 students at Oxford High School. They fought the charges, and today in a unanimous decision, the Court of Appeals ruled those charges will stick. In a 3-0 opinion, the judges found Ethan Crumbley's actions were foreseeable. They wrote the murders would not have happened if the parents had not bought a gun for their son or if they had taken him home when staff became alarmed about his extreme drawings. Attorneys for the Crumbleys acknowledge bad decisions were made, but not ones that rise to the criminal level. They aren't commenting on today's decision so far. Jennifer and James Crumbley can appeal the decision to the state Supreme Court. The appeals court did acknowledge this could be a slippery slope with the potential for the decision to be applied to other parents whose children commit crimes. But ultimately, the court found the case is unique and there is indeed enough evidence to take it to trial. Our Sean Lay is gathering a reaction to this ruling, and we'll have more coming up when you join us on the news at 5. Until then, we'll send it back to you, Karen.
All right, a landmark case, most definitely. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Well, we are learning about a hit-and-run crash that killed a middle school student in Walled Lake. The 13-year-old was killed when 4 cars crashed at the intersection of West Maple and Decker Roads last night. Police say it was caused by a driver trying to escape police. That driver ran from the scene, still has not been caught. The superintendent of Walled Lake Schools says the girl went to Clifford Smart Middle School and lived in Commerce Township. 5 other people were hurt in the crash. A New York grand jury will likely not take up the hush money case against former President Trump for the rest of the week. The grand jury returned to court in Lower Manhattan today, but sources tell NBC News they met on a different case. Members of the jury have been meeting Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, but they were kept home yesterday. The grand jury seems to be nearing a vote on a possible indictment of the former president. Trump is accused of paying $130,000 to silence adult film star Stormy Daniels. He could face charges of falsifying business records. All right, it's getting close to game time. In about 2.5 hours, the Michigan State Spartans will take on Kansas State in the Sweet 16. Bernie Smilovitz just landed in New York City. He's inside Madison Square Garden ahead of the big game. Hey, Bernie.
Hey, Karen, look, we made it here. The Greyhound just dropped us off just outside, and we're in Madison Square Garden. As a matter of fact, we are so early that Tennessee is still practicing out on the court. They play the second game tonight against Florida Atlantic. Now it's 6:30, the first game, Michigan State against Kansas State. The reason we're here, Michigan State favored by 1.5. We are back at 5 o'clock, promptly at 5 o'clock, to talk about that game and the Spartans' run to the Sweet 16. Till then, it's back to you.
We're looking forward to it. Thanks, Bern. All right, the rain moving out, but it will not be the last we see of this wet stuff. Let's get over to forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams for our first look at your forecast. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Karen. Well, we are getting a break from the rain, but temperatures are dropping and dropping rather quickly from north to south. You can see that cold air coming in, already 42 in Pontiac, upper 30s in Mount Clemens and Port Huron, hanging on to 42 at City Airport, 49 Metro, 49 also in Monroe. But as you watch us over the next couple of hours at 5 and 6, you'll notice that colder air continues continue to sink further to the south. Widen the view for you here. We had some heavier rain down to our south this morning, and we got clipped by it during that morning commute. But it's just been kind of cloudy and dry throughout the afternoon, and we will stay that way for about the next 24 hours before more rain returns tomorrow night. So tomorrow we'll have below normal temperatures in the low 40s. So a chilly day tomorrow. Umbrellas needed for Saturday, at least in the morning, and the leading edge of this system could have a few snowflakes possible. So we're not quite done. A little spring snow for us, not totaling up, but it's something we're going to talk about in the full forecast. Karen.
All right. Thanks so much, Kim. Well, it is one of the most popular apps with 150 million American users. Today, the CEO of TikTok was grilled by lawmakers on Capitol Hill. The app is facing a possible ban over security concerns. Take a listen to an exchange over the impact the app is having on the mental health of teenagers.
Addictive impulses are being sort of perfected by the technology, and again, it leaves the users sort of helpless in the face of that. Are you looking at ways to redesign core features like the ones I mentioned to be less manipulative?
We do want to be leading in terms of safety of our users, particularly for teenagers. We were the first to launch a 60-minute watch limit.
Yeah, let's talk about the 60-minute launch.
And I'm very glad to see people, others in our industry follow. For many of your recommendations, we'll study them very seriously. Yeah. We actually have a series of features. Like, for example, if you're under 16, you cannot use a direct messaging feature because we want to protect those younger users. If you're under 16, you cannot go viral by default.
Okay, so Paula Tutman has been following this hearing. She joins us now with more from the committee and what's at stake. So, Paula, the question here, people are hearing this story, and then we've been thinking about this and talking about it for months. Should people who have this app be worried?
Well, they should be, because national security is everybody's business. I mean, the fuss about TikTok is really about access and permissions, and who has access to your particular permissions. Teenagers love it.
See what's entertaining, look up funny videos.
Adults are the fastest growing demographic joining and posting on TikTok.
I actually post songs and stuff on there.
When you sign up for an app, you allow permissions, use of camera, contacts, photo gallery, microphone, all of the things you need to make those addictive, crazy, seemingly harmless videos to share with whomever wants to watch them in their feed. But the issue with TikTok is the ownership of the app, ByteDance, owned by a Chinese company. Therefore, based on the way China operates, easily accessed by the Chinese government.
Any Chinese company, by rule and by law, has to, when requested, provide any information that the Chinese government wants from this company.
Eric Barnes is the director of the Master of Science in Intelligence Analysis program at the University of Detroit Mercy, who works with the U.S. government on cybersecurity matters, and he explains why TikTok is a national security concern.
One of the fears is that this would be weaponized and used in the political format. You know, that let's say that the Chinese government sees one candidate is more favorable than the other, or a policy is more favorable than the other. Would they or could they then direct information or content?
And so today, Congress grilled TikTok CEO Shou Zishu.
TikTok's in-app browser surveilled everything from Americans, including passwords and credit card numbers, etc.
We rely on external third parties and fund their research to help us understand some of these issues.
You damn well know that you cannot protect the data and security of this committee or the 150 million users of your app.
Foreign adversaries having direct access to Americans' data, as well as the ability to influence this content Americans see on a prolific social media platform, represents an unprecedented threat to American security and to our democracy.
It's called data mining and data priming. Data mining is digging for those gems in your information profile on your phone, always running in the background, that could be used for nefarious reasons. Data priming is watching what you're watching and then feeding you misinformation or disinformation for behavior and mind control without you even realizing you're being manipulated.
I fully agree with the idea that the app should not be allowed on anyone's device that is in any position of potential compromise or authority, or anyone that handles intelligence or any information as it relates to that.
Yeah, and listen, if you have any concerns at all, whether you are a government official or just a regular person doing dances, there are ways that you can help protect yourself, Karen, because we have to approve those permissions on our phone. And so what Eric Barnes, our cybersecurity expert, is saying, don't just give blanket unfettered permissions. Use the settings that say this time only or allow only for this particular session, because this stuff is running in the background. We don't know who's monitoring us. So get in the driver's seat of your own permissions.
Some good advice this afternoon. We do appreciate it. We know you'll be following this one closely, Paula.